So why does your website suck? Well, it can be for a number of reasons. Today I'm going to show you how to get more visitors and how to convert those visitors into sales. Howdy everyone, I'm Kiram from Massive Effect Marketing. This is us, massiveeffectmarketing.com. We've been doing SEO since 2003. Very few web companies have been around for that long. All right, enough of the introduction. Let's get started. Let's start in on this home page. So we're going to talk about design first. First things first on the design, pretty darn good. It's very clean. The header and navigation isn't too deep. In other words, not taking up the whole website. It's just this section here. They've got a strong call to action and phone number. The logo is very clear. One thing it's missing is its value proposition or unique selling proposition right here, really big and bold. I mean, they could use this, but it's very small and out of the way. This is the perfect chance to send that strong communication really big right across the screen here. Down here, it's not really noticeable. So that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see that unique selling proposition, what they do for what audience. All right, that's what that means. And then a nice call to action right here. And the other thing they're missing right here are logos, trust logos. Let's see if there's any at the bottom of the site. You know, it could be anything like Angie's List Awards, things like that, Yelp Awards. It could be certifications, licenses, membership associations, anything to show some third-party recognition that it's a real company. I'd love to see some trust logos down here. Moving on, we'll scroll down. One thing it should also get is it should get this top navigation to be anchored at the top, so when I scroll it moves down with me. It's a little bit of an older site, so it doesn't have that technology built in. Next thing, as far as design, they've got this call to action down here at the bottom, which is good, but I think it would be very good as well if they had a form with just a couple form fields so they can get some more conversions down here at the bottom. So let's scroll back up. And as far as this whole section, the prospect, when they're on the website, you know, they don't read. People just scan read when they're online. So people are going to look at the headings and they're just going to see all these headings and they all say, you know, something Clearwater, something Clearwater. It's not really communicating and nobody wants to read all this text. So the way this is all presented is going to end up with someone just skimming through this whole piece and not reading any of it. So it looks like they really tried to optimize this for their search engine positioning by putting all these headings with all these, you know, Clearwater repeated 10 times. So this needs to be broken up into sections that are much more digestible. Something similar to this, where you have, let me show you, where you have one point, discussion, an image, next point, you know, the next heading, some info, video, and you go back and forth like that. With doing it like this, you're going to get the attention, and then if the person is interested, they can read about it. But when you just throw down all your cards on the table like this, people are just going to be overwhelmed. All right. So that's one thing with this design here. And I'm just looking through the text. They need to do a better introduction section where they're talking about themselves. They really need to introduce themselves. They need to show the team. They need to show that they're a real company. People do business with businesses they trust. And I want to see a picture of the company, an exterior, the team outside. Otherwise, you know, it's not having that reality factor. So I would really like to see that. There's a lot of other things this site is missing design-wise. For instance, I don't see any testimonials on here, and that's huge. They should have testimonials right above this end call to action piece. So that is a crucial point. You've got to build trust. So testimonials is a great way to do that. All right, so we can go on and on with design, but now let's talk a little bit about the search optimization for this site. Let's press Control U on the keyboard. I'm going to open up the source, take a look under the hood. Here's the title. The title is the most important element for optimizing for Google. And what they've done is they've put their company name here. They've mentioned their city service area 3 times, which is way too much. It should only be there once. And that to me is looking a little bit, not a little bit, definitely over SEO'd. If I was going to do this, I would just cut this whole section and leave this part and put professional landscaping, I would put professional landscapers, chop shop landscaping, Clearwater, Florida. They already have landscaping over here. They don't need to mention it twice. So this is a great example of an overdone title, which if Google becomes critical down the road, could penalize them. All right, so let's look at some other points. Let's press Control F, type in H1. We're looking for the heading. So the heading is very important. It tells Google what the page is about as well. So it's this guy right here. Carries a lot of weight. With the heading 1, you're basically telling Google, hey, this is the most important piece of text on the page. Whereas the title we were just talking about earlier is up here in the tab. So this is pretty darn good. They've got their service area mentioned and they've got their main keyword. Pretty good for a heading 1. So let's look at some other things. They have heading 2s. H2, they've got 6. Got 13 H3s, that's really good. So they've got their headings done well. Headings are important for your SEO. Another point, text is very important for SEO, and they've got a ton of text on this page. So they're really doing well with that. They're making up for the design issues with the SEO points, but at the end of the day, you have to have both of them. You can't just pick one. So lots of unique text on this site, really good. You want to have 500 words per page on the site. Google is weighing your site. It's weighing your site against many factors. One of them is amount of original quality text. It has to be written by you. It has to be unique. It can't be from Wikipedia. So this is really good stuff they've got here. If they, for instance, had one page about mulch and their competitor had 10 pages about mulch, each page with 500 words, the competitor is going to rank more. So for small business, this really is the strategy, creating lots of unique content. Now they're overdoing it for sure by mentioning Clearwater FL. How many times? Clearwater FL. 26 times. So this site is on the fast track to get penalized by Google for over SEO because they are keyword stuffing. They are stuffing this phrase as many times as they can to the point where it's unnatural. If you start reading this, it's like, this seems a little weird. That's right, it is weird. They're trying to get at the top of Google and they're trying to put that search phrase in everywhere they can. They're just cramming it in. So don't do that. That's an SEO don't. Okay. Google might reward it now, but it won't always. Otherwise, you have pages with lots of content. This is definitely the way to go. They're doing really good. They just need to tone it down a bit. All right. Well, this site has some good things about it, has some bad things. I hope that helped you. And now you can use some of this information, apply it to your website so you can get some more traffic and improve your SEO and improve your design. Both factors are crucial to turning visitors into customers. If you want your website to be properly SEO'd, then just come on down to massiveeffectmarketing.com and send us a message. We've been at it for nearly 2 decades and we only employ 100% ethical SEO techniques, which is why we've been around for so long. So don't be shy, just reach out to us, send us a message, and let us know if there's anything we can do for you.